narrated by the writer is supposed to become physical. What he has written is descriptive. Sometimes descriptive with a couple of flaws. He's a human being. He's a human being. Now you want to physicalize the character. In other words, you want to bring the character to life physically. And if you've done some training in theater, you will find out that there are two aspects. I'm going to talk about physicalizing the character, and I'm going to talk about vocalizing the character. The physicalizing the character will be how you will appear. I'm not talking of costume now. How you will walk. That's why in preparing for acting, you've got to learn movement. Movement. And that movement has to do with movement with your legs. A robber that's going to steal is different from a man walking into his house. Movement. Sometimes you watch some people, their faces are saying something, but the remaining part of their body is saying something else. Physicalize it. The gentleman that came to display that he was angry, you see the anger on the face, that's where the camera is. But if it's on the stage, we also have to see the anger on the legs. The entire body. Physicalize it. Wear the character. You've got to find out how it is that you get now. There are acting techniques. This is not for this kind of, you can't learn all of that. There is the Stanislavski or whatever, Miss Now, whatever. Those are just acting theories and things like that, which are not totally wrong. Most of them have things to say. And then if you want to go into what we call system acting or type acting or type acting, then you have to go train. I mean, how does a character produce tears in 15 seconds? How does it produce tears in 15 seconds? Now, that's not for this kind of meeting. That's deeper. That's deeper. You've got to, like they say, you've got to go deep. And in going deep, you bring out some stuff. And there are certain things you need to be taught to be able to do that. So that we believe it. When you say, I will shoot you. We believe. Not to point a gun, I will shoot you. People say, no, shoot me. No, shoot me. No, shoot me. I mean, you just, I will shoot you. And everybody believes that this man is going to shoot. This man is going to shoot. We better do something now. Not because of the reactions, but because it came from somewhere. Physicalizing the character. Physicalizing the character. The costumier is going to do some things to you. The makeup artist do all of that. But you can wear the face of a 70-year-old and walk the walk of a 5-year-old. Yeah. So physicalizing. Some people are in some kind of costumes and they are different from their costume. That's why sometimes in movies people have to do a little bit of typecasting. A little bit of what? You know what typecasting is done to? They have to do a little bit of typecasting. So we know, for example, if Tony Umez shows up, we know that two things will happen. Most likely he will be rich. If at the beginning of the movie he looks poor, we know he will be rich later. You know Tony Umez, don't you? He will be rich later. Then we know that one thing is certain. He must be his wife. He must say, darling, I'm sorry. Are you catching this? Okay, so sometimes they do that because the person already has an appearance that looks kind of wealthy. Do you understand? So on the basis of that, he doesn't have to do too much of acting. That's why sometimes the most tested kind of acting is a stage acting. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. Yes. It's the most difficult, it's the most engaging. That's where many of us started from, and all of that. Okay. So physicalize the character. In your mind, have a picture of how the character is supposed to look like. The appearance of the character, the looks of the character, the face of the character, the age of the character, the strength of the character, the energy the character exudes. It has to be there, and that's part of what you get out of a good text analysis. Sometimes you want to talk with your director to get a direction about it. And so they don't keep stopping you when you are playing the role. Is this making sense to anybody? The third thing I want to draw your attention to is vocalize the role. Vocalize it. I think one of my biggest problems with up-and-coming actors is the problem of voice. Voice. I used to tease people, I said, why are you using your theater voice? Theater voice seems to be the kind of voice that people wear anytime they get on the stage. You know, they're acting and say, you can't do it. They will say, I'm going to do it. And you find out that the inflections of the sounds are always falling at the same point. So everybody is sounding alike. You're not vocalizing the role. There's a way an old man talks. That's why some of these guys that do skits, they don't want to there's this BENIN guy that speaks BENIN mixture of English and all of that. I think they call him old man. What? I heard a young girl there. So you see that voice and you see it captures the essence of the character. Your voice must tally with your character. Don't come speaking big English when you shouldn't be speaking big English. He said that when he was talking of script writing. You're writing a script, the character is not up to that level, and you're giving him a vocabulary level that he won't achieve in the next 50 years. You know, one of the things, my wife likes Yoruba home video a lot. Many people do. I like to watch it before in English. One day I told her, let me tell you why this Yoruba home video looks very real. Same thing with BENIN. And why if the same people move over into English, it looks as if something is going wrong. Let me tell you what is wrong. Many characters playing roles and using English in communication have not personally risen to the level of that kind of language proficiency. And so when they're trying to speak the English is refusing to speak. Sometimes my back is turned to the TV and somebody is saying something in English, I'm talking. I'm an English teacher. I've been teaching, like I said, English teacher, literature, all of that, and I studied it. Now, the person is talking and I said, no, that person doesn't know how to speak English. What it means is that he's trying to portray a role that is higher. Same thing with psychology. I'm going to come to that later when it comes to acting. He's trying to portray a role that is, by way of speech, diction, enunciation, higher than the person's real life. Well, that's what makes you an actor. You've got to go higher to that level of speech. And then when you come down, you've got to come down again. It's called code switching. What did I call it? Code switching. You've got to code switch. We shouldn't see you playing a role of somebody who's not very enlightened. And then when you get over to play the role of somebody very enlightened, you're using the same voice. You're using the same voice level, using the same pronunciation, and using the same general speech. You need to work on your speech. Number one thing about your speech is it must be clear. We must hear you when you say things. And it's not your tutor that's going to teach you that. You've got to wake up, stand in front of people and try to talk to them, discuss with them, let them tell you back that you are saying rubbish. And then you keep trying until you get to the place where when you speak, people can hear you. You've got to learn that. After all, there are just two tools that you have as an individual. Somebody said if you're a director, you've got to ask yourself this question. There are two people in every audience. A blind old woman and a deaf old man. A blind old woman is always in the audience. Blind, old, wants to enjoy the theater. It is how you speak that the person will follow the story. Speech. Blind, can't see anything. So all the visuals not present. All that the person can get out of there is what? Voice. If you can speak well. Do you know, have you ever watched the making of some of these cartoons? Prince of Egypt, you know, any of the cartoons where these superstars do voiceovers. Have you ever watched them? Did you notice that they don't just give them scripts? They actually give them visuals for them to voice. That's what they do. Because they realize that the voice will sound realistic when they see the action the character is taking. They are not expecting the character's attitude or behavior to be subordinate. By that I mean buying from the voice. They are expecting the voice to tally with the action that they are taking. And so what do? If you watch Prince of Egypt, after they did the cartoon, and it's a 3D cartoon and all of that, where you have Moses and his brother, they are riding all over the place, they are talking, okay, Lion King, for example. Lion King, where Mufasa played the role of, was played by who? What's the name of this guy? Who knows his name? James L. Jones, that's true. The man in Coming to America. James L. Jones. He played the role of Mufasa. They don't just give them this thing, they'll lie down and say, Mufasa, give me the news today. No, they don't do that. They already finished with their cartoon, they already finished with their 3D, and then with all of their acoustics and everything, the man stands in front, he's looking at what his voice. Why? Because the action has to be transmitted to the voice. If you are a good actor and you spend time training your voice, you definitely become a better actor. Definitely. And if you can't see you, let's hear. Then the second person is the old deaf man. He is deaf, he can only see. Entertain him. And that's where the gestures come in. Physicalizing, understanding the fact that you need to play. By the way, I'll say this later. By the way, when we're training people to act, we actually have two things, your body and your voice. Is it not? But when we transit into television, they now become three. Your body, your voice, your face. Your body, your voice, your face. And your face is actually probably the most important. Because like he demonstrated, you have to be able to see, show love, hate, anger, all within this. Yes. Your mirror is your friend. In learning how to physicalize, your mirror is your friend. Play it in front of your mirror. Okay, we are good. Okay, move to the next slide. Acting in front of the camera. Next slide, please. Okay, locating the actor. I said this already, just keep moving. If you have, next slide, I've passed all of these places. Next slide. You have your sound, you have your lights, special effect, you have your next place, you have your cameras looking very monstrous. You have the director, but the most important is you stepping out, the actor. Go ahead. And then now we're looking at the essentials of acting. The first one we looked at was what? Text analysis, isn't it? The second one is physicalize the character. You have a lot of people. And generally, these people look different because they also convince people of the personalities that they are in terms of their appearance. Physicalize it. See the character physically. Imagine it. Imagination comes in very strong. A character that does not know how to imagine, an actor that doesn't know how to imagine, will put his director in trouble. He's going to play roles that are so flat. Like he was explaining, they can give you blockings, they can give you things, but you've got to realize that you have to improve on it. And let me say, by the way, your style is important. This is professional. Your style is important. But if you are an up-and-coming actor, don't run style first. Run essentials first. Are you following? Because you will offend directors when you begin to run style when you have not arrived. Am I talking here? So don't come on set and be yourself. Those days when we're coming up with acting at pop culture, Stars Theater, going to Barcelona Hotel, Tete, and all of that, we're acting. When you get a rehearsal ground, you must change to your costumes or your rehearsal clothes. Because go to rehearsals every day, stage. You must change. You can't get on those guys' stage with what you wore from home. Because if you do that, you'll still be proud. You'll still be yourself. And how do you get into a character when you came in the clothes you came in? So you've got to drop them and wear some rehearsal clothes, looking like that maybe rough, dirty or whatever. And then now you have removed your personality. Because that's one of the biggest challenges to entering into another role, your personality. Again, that's another deeper level.